What's up, everybody? I promised that I would do my top 10. I don't have my normal recording rig. I'm on my smartphone with no mic. So we're gonna try this. This is one of my top 10. It is a Mustang. Not a big Mustang guy, but here's what I love about this Mustang. The motor setup. Individual throttle bodies, which is really cool, and shaved everything. Shaved door handles, shaved mirrors, everything's Frenched and shaved. I love the drip rails taken off of the doors, how the windows, all the glass is set flush, bumpers are flush, interior's clean, trunk setup done. Just not saying it's the best in the show. Go a little wide here for you guys so you can see the whole thing. But this is one of my top 10 cars. We'll move on to the next one of my top 10s. And I believe it's the best Mustang here, all generations. Here's my favorite truck at the entire show. There are square bodies on top of square bodies on top of square bodies. Actually, I think we have a problem here in Texas because there's nothing but square bodies here. But check out the engine, of course. An extraordinarily clean LS. The interior on this car, what I like about it mostly is the paint. The paint on the car is amazing, the wheels amazing, well-wear brakes. But take a look at this interior. They did a wonderful job. It's so clean. Last thing we'll look at is the bed real quick. When you see the framework that's done in here, look at that rear. Look at the exhaust with the two little resonators popping up there. If you can see it, camera doesn't want to focus. Just everything, the suspension, rear tube, it's just cleanest truck here. And there are some extraordinarily beautiful trucks at the show. All right, on to the next car. Probably one of the coolest cars at the show. I believe I showed this one when I did my first video. So, not gonna spend a lot of time on it. Actually, I am familiar with the owner's daughter. She has, Mandy Bierman, she has an amazing car collection herself. Some pretty cool modern cars. But her dad evidently owns Speed Sport chrome plating. Really, really cool builds. He has two builds here, but this is my third for top 10 at the show. And I went over it. If you haven't seen the first video that I did, hey man, go back and look at it. It was about me showing you the setup, kind of like how I show prep, but go and take a look at it because I kind of go through a little bit more on the car. Let's go on to the next car. So this car won first place in my class. As soon as I saw it, I knew it should, and it did. We're in production road race, and this is why. Really cool car. Not a big fan of the Mustangs. I'm gonna put this in the top 10 because I'm not a hater. The interior setup for this car, as far as a race car goes, is impressive. I mean, it's exactly what you would expect out of a road race car. And congratulations to him for winning the class. So maybe honorable mention, not necessarily my top 10. Still owe you 7 more cars, but just wanted to throw this one in the video. On to the next car. This is definitely one of my top 10. I feel like he should win every year. The video that I did last year, I actually had an opportunity to interview him. The amount of engraving and details in this car is insane. The valve covers, the air cleaner, everything that is on this car is touched with engraving. He touched on...
Are you kidding me?
He actually touched on his silver leafing here, which is actually real silver leaf. It's not pinstriping, it's just beyond pinstriping. It's beautiful. Touched on the back of the seats last year, but you can see that too. This is just A1 build, A1. This has to be in my top 10. 6 more cars to go. This is my next car, and what I'm trying to do, my effort is to keep this video under 13 minutes. I can spend a lot of time on this car. When you just glance at it, it looks like a black 69 Camaro, but the details are insane. Let's just start with the wheels. One thing you don't normally see on muscle cars are modern wheels. So he's running AG wheels with carbon barrels. For guys running carbon barrels, you know he's running carbon bumpers. He also has a carbon wing. And if you can see into the interior, he has carbon backs on those beautiful seats, carbon dash, carbon mirrors, carbon door pulls inside the interior. I'll give you a shot of the carbon mirrors. 1 second here. You can see that. But it doesn't end there. All tastefully done. If you do the back bumper, you can assume that the front bumper is also done. Correct assumption. But look at the inner fender wells. Also carbon. Look at the suspension. And then on top of it, he's running, I think that looks like an LSA blower to me, but LT4, what I think is an LSA, even if it's not an LSA blower. This is just dope on dope on dope on dope. So yeah, I think we're down to 5 more cars. This to me is like top 3 here. Definitely best Camaro, and there's probably 30 69s here. Well, I would say anything from a 67 to a 70. It's a bunch of them. This one, my taste, best looking one. So I'm not gonna spend any time on this whatsoever. This should be best in show. He run first place in his class, as you can see. I feel like it deserves best in show because this is the best in show. Not gonna spend a bunch of time on it. Go watch the other video. This definitely has to be in the top 10 here. Clearly, I think we owe you 4 more cars. Here's another honorable mention. I'm not saying this is a top 10 in the show, but the paint on this hot rod is insane. I am partial to purple, clearly, but the condition and the shape that this paint is in is impressive. A lot of show cars showed up, but not all of them showed up show ready. And this is one of the few that's show ready. It's a beautiful color and in good shape. The paint, good condition. Here's another one, Offbeat. I'm putting it in my top 10 because it's just so different. The 30-inch wheels, delivery van, but it's still with all the patina, everything, as you can see. And you get around to the back and it's kind of shocking. They put a full interior in this thing, man. I don't know how I would describe this. It kind of reminds me if you've been on some of like the limo buses, for lack of a better word, or a done-up Sprinter. It's kind of cool. My friend said it looks like a hearse. Shout out to you, Keisha Vasquez. But I think actually with the speakers and everything, this build definitely deserves top 10 of the show because it's just so unique. I don't know. Tell me guys what you think in the comments. So this next one in my top 10, which I believe after this I only need to give you 2 more, is something that, again, it's my top 10. It's not necessarily the paint, the wheel combination, all that kind of stuff. It's the actual chassis. I've always wanted to have a quad cab dually 8-foot bed, and this is it, done the way it's supposed to be done. Dually quad cab 8-foot bed, slammed. Definitely for me personally, one of the top 10 in the show, in that there is no other dually that's set up this way. Full interior done, full custom truck. Like again, I think Flames have kind of, and I love OBS. The OBS period of the Chevy truck. So I'm a Dodge guy, Ram guy, but the OBS period I think have aged well. It's a super cool truck. Flames, not so much for me. Everything else is perfect on this truck for me. I love it. So definitely top. All right, this is the next one. It's a 72 C10. Like I said, there are a lot of square body C10s. Where this is in my top 10, it's not only in the detail work, but it's really in the motor. I mean, this thing, anybody that does mirror turbos get a bump from me because it's just that little extra step, that little detail. And if you don't know what mirror turbos are, they spin opposite of each other, but they actually are symmetrical. So you can see the outlet here for the cold side, the outlet here for the cold side, instead of them being asymmetrical, because most turbos all come the same way. So usually you will have 2 of them on outside, but this makes the motor setup so clean. And just to show you the rest of the truck is pretty clean too, but I mean, it's not, it's kind of just clean, bead lock, and true road race looking car, but it's all about performance here in this car. Definitely a top 10 just for the engine alone. You wouldn't think I have a struggle counting to 10, but I do. So I'm adding this one in. I think I did 2 honorable mentions. This has to be the last one. Now, everybody knows how I feel about gold. All gold, everything. Shout out Trinidad James. But the details on this and the paint work, again, like the purple Plum Crazy I showed you. Man, the paint is just, it's never gonna come through on video, which is fine. But the paint work here, almost like a midnight red. And I don't know the specific color, but it looks like it's on a gold base. But it's one of those cars at night, if you saw it, you would think it's probably black. But during the day or on artificial light, you see this beautiful, rich red color. It's a beautiful car. That is it for me. Hopefully you guys like the top 10. If you see something in the background, either here, comment below. And if you think I didn't count the 10, maybe I should number these. You know what? I may number them in the order in which that I think they should be, 1 through 10, even though it'll be out of order. So I'll count them, but I'll also show a number of where I think they rank in my top 10. What I noticed is some of the cars I picked actually finished second in their category. Interesting judging. Plain but chain, third place. Who cares? We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed Houston Autorama. If you didn't make it here, come down next year. We'll have 2 cars in the show. Believe that. See you guys in the next video. Peace.